Hello, everyone. Hey. Welcome, everyone, to another live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Getting to know our caretakers, falling in love with our caretakers, but lucky me, because I already love you all already, so we get to share you all with the people. But why don't you each go around? I'm Olivia, you know me from the media department. And earlier today, Judson sat down with Gil and Rio, two of our other caretakers here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. This is part of a larger installment, but we're lucky because we get a second part today. So, starting with you, Jackie, why don't you just quickly say your name and your position?
Well, you already said my name.
Yes.
I'm Jackie, and I am a caretaker.
But you're a senior caretaker.
I'm a senior caretaker.
Yes.
I'm Kaylin. I'm a caretaker 1.
I'm Kelly. I'm caretaker 1.
And you all work together. You two have worked together in the same zone before.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie and Kelly have. Kaylin, you and Jackie currently work in the same zone.
Mm-hmm.
And we all love each other. So that's why we are in this group today. But just like with the previous interviews, we got to know Katrina and Elise yesterday. We're just getting to know you all. So we're going to have a few questions, and then we're going to play a game, and it's going to be fun, and
Yay!
You all are going to do great. So, and I also forgot a part with our first introduction. Why don't you also say where you're originally from? Because two of you have a fun connection on where you're from.
I'm from Colorado.
I'm from Minnesota.
I'm from Colorado.
And why don't you two just very briefly say how you knew each other, and then Kelly, you can say why that's significant to your job here at the Wildcat Sanctuary.
We worked at PetSmart together in
You
Fort
did,
Collins.
in Colorado, and yeah.
Yeah, so Jackie got the internship here, and it's very sad seeing her leave PetSmart. But then I was feeling a little lost, and I was like, you know, Jackie, I'm just going to follow you. And I followed her, and
I love
now
that
we're
little
here.
story. And then you're from Minnesota, so I assume that you knew about the sanctuary living in Minnesota. No, you didn't.
I did not know about it. I typed in Google animal intern jobs, and the internship for the summer
Wow.
popped up for this place. I had no idea it was here, and it was 2 hours from my college for
I
the last
did
4
not
years.
know that, Kaylin. That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're jumping around the sheet here a little bit, but I do like knowing that you two are kind of from the same area. You're from Minnesota. And yeah, I think that kind of goes into why you work with big cats. You kind of touched on it, Kelly, but Jackie, these two kind of said why they chose this internship, but why did you choose this internship, and why did you want to work with big cats?
It's always been my dream to work with big cats, so I Googled leopard sanctuaries, and then this one showed up. And I was like, there's only 2 leopards here. But
Yes.
doing my internship, I fell in love with it, so.
Well, I think that's super special. So 2 Google searches
Yep.
and 1 friend is why you came to the Wildcat Sanctuary. And Kelly, you kind of said that your background was maybe a little bit different. So
yeah.
I'm sure maybe, Jackie being here was intriguing to you. I'm sure it was exciting, the prospect of working with animals like this. But had you thought about working with animals like this before?
Yeah, I always wanted to work with animals. I just wasn't sure
Okay.
what direction to follow.
Yeah, or maybe what species, all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
cat species. That's super special. But all of you animal lovers from the jump and found your way here. Me too. Yeah. All right, well, we'll kind of hop around with these, but what do you enjoy most about working with the cats on a daily basis? And we're going to start with Kaylin. What do you enjoy most about working with these cats?
Enjoy most? That's hard to pick because there's a lot of really good perks to this job. If I had to narrow it down, I'd probably say getting to learn each cat individually, getting to learn their personalities, realizing each species has its own quirks, each cat has its own quirks, and kind of forming a connection between caretaker and cat, and just getting to know them as we grow older, grow closer as years go on and whatnot. So
That's a great answer. And Kaylin, you started out, as we all did, as an intern at the sanctuary. So you've worked in all the zones, I would assume,
Yes.
here at the sanctuary. Why don't you just say who you're working with now?
Currently, being in Zone 3, I work with Jackie, and I also work with a majority of our lions and our servals and a handful of our tigers as well.
Yeah, so a wide range of species here at the sanctuary, and all of you have gotten to work with pretty much every cat here, but then in your caretaker positions, you've kind of gotten to settle in with your crew and gotten to fall in love with them, so that's super special. Kelly, what's your favorite part about working with the cats? And you're in a different zone, so...
Yes. So I'm with the hybrids and bobcats. A couple servals, but mainly bobcats with the hybrids. I think my favorite part is just seeing the transformation of the cats. We get a lot of them that prefer to not to be around people, or like, I mean, I'm just gonna use Anastasia as an example, but she's very hidden, doesn't like coming out at all. But yeah, forming that connection with them, like Kaylin said, and just seeing them grow more comfortable here, even though they really shouldn't have to be forced to do that, but like just getting them and seeing them be more comfortable with where they're at.
Exactly. Yeah, because they're here. So I think like your job is not only taking care of them, but making sure that they're comfortable here and making sure that sanctuary, you know, works for them. And that's a huge part of husbandry in your jobs and an important part of what you do. And so kind of going off of that, you're a senior caretaker, so you've been here the longest of this respective group. Why don't you tell me, Jackie, they talked about the favorite parts of working with the cats here. Why don't you share the most memorable experience for you in your, how many years? Has it been 5 years, including your internship?
In June, it'll be 5 years.
That's very exciting. So what's one moment that maybe stands out to you?
I feel like it's like a little one, but the one that I feel like always comes to my mind is with Wally. It was when he was maybe here for like a couple weeks. He wasn't here very long yet, and we were going in to feed him, and he was really shy, so he was like not ready to be all about us, and he was standing in the back of his room, and we were like, we're gonna just see what happens. And so we gave him a chicken quarter, and he was like, I really want that, but he did not want to come close to us, and so we took a step back. But then it was the cutest little thing. He's like laying down, and he like shuffled up, and he did not get up all the way, and then he grabbed the quarter and he like shuffled back. And it was him like slowly starting to open up to us. And then a little bit later was him going out and touching the grass and touching the trees and
touching the trees.
Well,
destroying
just rubbing all over the trees and then not having trees in that yard anymore. But that one's a big one, is seeing Wally blossom and just how cute he was when he was like, I really want that, but you guys need to go away.
I know, and Wally was a really special cat to you, so I think having you there in those beginning stages, I'm not surprised that stuck with you. That's a really sweet story. What about you, Kaylin? What's a memorable moment for you?
Oof. Well, if I had to pick, probably when I first started here, everyone kept asking me, like, who's your favorite cat? You know, what cat do you really click with? And when I actually settled on who that cat was, it ended up being Winona, the tigress. Her story really struck a chord with me. It became a big inspiration for helping all kinds of cats like herself. And finding out she was like the chuffiest tiger on property, and it felt so fun chuffing back and forth with her. She taught me how to chuff, and I was like, that's so huge here. So that might be, probably one of the first more precious moments I have from here.
That's really sweet. I love Winona. You know, she doesn't chuff to me, Kaylin. All of you, if you're one of our regular Facebook followers, you might have heard me say this. Winona, Judson and I will go up doing a live post. Winona will intentionally turn her head towards Judson, chuff at him, and then turn her head towards me and not chuff at me.
I didn't know.
Winona is arguably one of my favorite tigers, and she does not grace. One time recently, she didn't realize it was me and gave me a chuff, and then when I chuffed back to her, she did not chuff again back to me.
She's
so
like, no, not that one.
I'm glad you have that experience with Winona. I can't exactly relate, but that's a really good story, Kaylin.
I'll have a talk with her.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Well, Kelly, this is a very good question for you. You said that you work with the small cats now, but what are the differences for you being in Zone 1 in Catio Town? What are the differences working with those cats versus the big cats?
I would say, I feel like there's probably dirtier.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a lot of cleaning every day. we are able to do that with them.
Right.
So it is time consuming, but it's also, you form a different connection with them versus like the lions, the tigers, because you are able to actually like physically show them that love versus just like talking to them. And I think that's probably the biggest difference, is just the kind of connection you have with them.
I like that answer, and we always say, and what I think is maybe hard for people to understand is that even though a cat might be bigger, like a bigger species like a tiger or a lion, sometimes the care demands can be way more for the smaller cats, like our hybrids, especially with the different, not only like health needs that our hybrids have, but behavioral needs, and just, litter boxes and things like that.
Yeah.
So I like that you highlighted that, and especially I think that's the importance of Catio Town. Rio kind of touched on it this morning, and then Jill obviously being in zone 1 with you. Just what Catio Town has meant to you and how it's made that care easier, but still just the scale of the care with that many cats especially too. So I think that, but like you said, a different connection, and just as good of a connection as maybe with those bigger cats. How do you approach building trust with a cat? And Kelly, I want you to answer this first, and then I want to hear Jackie's answer too. So Kelly, why don't you start? How do you build trust with a cat?
Mainly just respecting their space at first, letting them approach. I'm never like, come here, kitty.
Yeah.
Definitely letting them feel me out first. And because everybody has a different personality. Every cat has a different personality. Sometimes they don't mesh. So it's definitely letting them decide when they're ready.
Would you say that's a similar answer for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to see like what they like, and then be like, it's okay, and try and do like extra treats, things like that. But if they don't want you in your space, also respecting that and be like, okay, I'll go away, it's okay.
Yeah.
And just slowly trying to be like, you can love us, I promise.
I know. And sometimes that takes time. Kaylin, I'm going to put you on the spot. Has there been a moment where you've learned that lesson, or maybe you've had to adjust yourself? Because I think we all know sometimes cats require different things for different cats, especially when building their trust. Was there ever a moment where you're like, I need to adjust myself to meet the needs of this cat? I hear that a lot in caretaking, of kind of learning as you go.
Yeah, it's hard to think of a specific cat on the dime, but I can think of, a lot of times with like our lions, like our male lions with Leo and Gino, right? They're very, loving cats, but they are they're very proud.
Yeah.
Very forthcoming and whatnot. And, you can't coo at them like you might a tiger and chuff with them. They don't mesh like that.
Right.
And so you kind of respect the king of the jungle vibe, and, you keep your eye contact to a minimum, you give them their space, you move slow, and you pretty much just don't impose on their space or time unless you have to. Yeah. I'd say, versus there's other cats where they'd love if you stayed in the building all day and chuffed with them or played with them or whatever. That's probably what I'd say.
I like that answer, and it jogs my memory with you specifically, Kaylin. Obviously, shifting cats and husbandry is a part of everyday work, but you do work with Sophie and Gino as you do Jackie. But I remember one time with you where, I can't remember the reason, but we had to get Sophie shifted into her shift. And it happened, it needed to happen like on a more expeditious scale, and you were able to do that, and that was such a win. And I think that was earlier on in your time in that zone, and I think about making adjustments like that and figuring out the cats, and then also the win of like, okay, this cat and I worked together and we were able to accomplish this, and it being stress-free too. And I like seeing those moments with each of you. I've seen those moments with each of you, working with the cats that you care about and kind of having those small wins. I love it. Those are such good answers. This makes me so happy talking with you all. But if you're just now joining, welcome. This is kind of getting to know our caretakers and falling in love with our caretaking team. This is a second installment today. It's really exciting. We got to talk with Jill and Rio earlier this morning, 2 of our Zone 1 caretakers. And now we're here with Kelly, Kaylin, and Jackie doing the same thing for a second time today. And we've had a lot of good answers so far, kind of talking about the ins and outs of working as caretakers at TWS. And then I think I have to, end this section of TWS-oriented questions because the other people have had such good answers. I don't know if you've watched these other videos, but Judson wrote these questions, and we were really surprised by everybody's answer to, if you could have a superpower to make your job at TWS easier, what would it be? So we'll start with you, Jackie.
Oh, why me first? So many. I feel like it's kind of cliche, but I always say that I want to be Dr. Dolittle, and I want to be able to talk to them.
That has been an answer that I've heard twice now, and it wasn't something that would pop. I mean, it totally makes sense, but it wasn't something that I would think of right off the top of my head. Okay,
I
so
think it would
talking
just
with them
be easier, because then we could be like, why are you scared, or what's going on, so many different things, and then we could maybe be able to communicate a little bit better and be like, why are you stressed? We can change that.
Yes, I like that answer. What about you, Kaylin?
My answer, I don't know if you'd call it a superpower, but you ever see the movie Wreck-It Ralph and Fix-It Felix?
Yes.
Has his, special hammer?
Fix-It Felix. Okay, that is a new one. You have an original answer.
I thought it over really hard because I was like, how would each superpower, the general ones, how would it help? And I was like, I need a superpower where I have a simple hammer, and at any time you hit anything, it just fixes it. I was like, fix any of our vehicles, any of our fencing, anything at all, and it would just instantaneous.
That's a very good one. Okay, so a fix-it-all hammer, talking to the animals, and what about you, Kelly?
I was gonna say talking to animals.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
If you had one more.
Probably teleportation. Or to be in two places at once.
That would be a good one.
That would be a good one.
That was the one that I initially thought of when I read this question, is something along the lines of that. Like either like flight, if you could super speed across the sanctuary, or teleportation. So that makes sense. It would be nice to be in two places at once too.
Double
to
cleaning.
get things done. Yeah. Double cleaning. I'm seeing fixing, cleaning. I'm seeing the answer here. Maybe a lot of people don't think of at first that caretaking goes well beyond just feeding and watering animals. It is a lot of cleaning and it's a lot of fixing things. So you are do-it-all kind of women. Okay, we have these fluffier questions, but you all know each other very well, obviously. I think that we should do these questions newlywed style and kind of wrap it up this way. So we have two whiteboards down below. If you want to grab those, Kaylin and Kelly. And then Kelly, you're going to hand your whiteboard to Jackie. We're going to do a little rotation here. But since these two are in the same zone together, and you spend a lot of days together, I'm hoping that you know each other super well. So,
for sure.
We have some fun questions. We'll do a few, but let's do this. Why don't we? You have to tell me all of Jackie's animals, names and species. Jackie has a variety of pets, I'd say, with the exception of maybe Katie. You have a very diverse group at home, or have had over time a very diverse group at home. So we are doing Jackie's pets' names and what species she has at this given moment. Go. And Jackie, you're going to write the answer. Make sure don't show Kaylin on your whiteboard.
Oh, no.
It's here now.
I'm like confident on for sure 3.
And we have a shout out to Joan, our volunteer coordinator. She also does a great kind of monthly newsletter for our staff. And one of Jackie's pets was featured on this most recent installment.
That's true. That should be a good one for
Yep.
And Kaylin definitely get it. You're doing great, Kaylin. Let me know when you're done. I feel like I need to do like Jeopardy music. Da, 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 da.
No pressure.
This one's easy.
I know. Should be, Kaylin. We spend so much time all together.
I was literally talking about 2 of them this morning.
I know. I remember, because I know.
We do all talk about our pets all the time, everyone. You can rest assured of that.
I think there's one that Jackie doesn't talk about, and they deserve to be talked about.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if she answers it.
That's a little bit of drama is entering this stage. Kelly's saying that Jackie does not talk about one of her pets nearly enough. Well,
I know.
Kaylin, I'm counting down 3, 2, 1.
All
Show
right.
what you have.
I don't have names.
Okay. Okay. I like it. Well, why don't you
I know
read out loud?
Ella, and I know you have another. I know her name starts with like a K. The name Kisa kept coming up, and I was like, it's not
It's
Kisa.
not Kisa. It's
I
not
know
Kisa.
it's not Kisa.
Okay, well, I
Kisa's
will
here.
say that you are correct on all fronts. Why don't you explain?
Good.
You know, sea monkeys. I forgot the sea monkeys. Okay, that is so good.
Layla, not a K.
Okay,
It's Layla.
why don't you give a quick elevator pitch on each of your pets here?
Well, yeah, I have 2 cats, Layla and Ella. Ella was one of the ones that I kind of got from the sanctuary. What was it? Cornbread was her name.
Cornbread.
Something like that, yeah.
An orange tabby, female orange.
Yeah,
tabby,
female
yes.
orange tabby. And then Stitch is my rabbit. And then I have sea monkeys. And I did have chinchillas,
Yes,
but they have passed.
Tim is here, and he is in spirit. So
But, yeah.
you've had a wide variety: chinchillas, rabbits, cats, and sea monkeys. Which I also forgot, Kelly. Justice for the sea monkeys.
Sea monkeys is a first for me. That's good to know. I'll note that for
They've
next
been
time.
around for a hot minute. I got them last April.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, while you two still have the whiteboard, we'll do one in Kaylin's direction.
Oof.
Oh,
Good
no.
luck.
I know, I'm nervous.
What is what is Kaylin's number one hobby outside of work? And I think I know this one.
You do, because I remember
And
we
it's
had a
very,
live.
it's
I feel like
very
I'm gonna get it
niche.
wrong, but
It's
I'm
the
gonna
niche
get
answer
one.
in my head, correct?
Ooh.
What did you write?
I peeked this
Well,
one.
now I feel like I'm going to be wrong.
Do you know the answer?
Only because I looked.
Oh,
Is that what you thought?
all right.
Oh, I'm so not going to
okay,
get this right
3,
then.
2, 1. Okay, I did know. Kaylin,
Yeah.
go for it.
Archery. I shoot recurve bow in my free time. I don't hunt. I just do it for fun.
Yes,
I think
but
it's a
you're a
cool
very
sport.
good archer. Is that correct terminology? Archer?
Archer, yeah. I'd call
Okay.
myself an archer.
I'm like,
Okay.
boxing too, right?
Boxing,
That was a close
yeah.
Oh,
second.
boxing. Okay.
I did.
Oh my
I
gosh.
did boxing as an exercise form when I was a little bit younger, and then gaming is probably number 3.
Okay, I didn't know the boxing
I
part.
did really bad.
Hey, but
Top
you
3.
know.
You're in the top 3.
You got gaming? She said gaming's in her top 3. Okay,
It's a
well, that's amazing. I learned something new about you, Kaylin, too. Jackie, you hang on to your board. Kelly, you're getting the board next.
Passing the torch.
All right, we will. Oh, okay. Kelly and Jackie, because they've known each other for such a long time, I feel like I'm gonna go a little bit harder. What is Jackie's favorite movie or movies? Go. I'm also doing the ones that I know to give myself a boost of confidence. Do you know this one, Kaylin? Just
I
out of
can't say I
curiosity?
do.
Okay.
Can I get a genre?
Not what
You
you
can do
thought.
genre, and we'll count it for half a point.
You have absolutely said that to me before. It didn't click
You
till
gotta
now.
keep this to your chest.
I'm not helping.
No, I know. You gotta hands
She's
crossed.
laughing at my movie.
Well, is it what I think it is? Oh, that's not what I thought it was. I'm gonna say what I thought yours was. All right, 3, 2, 1.
I just said rom-coms.
I do
Okay.
love rom-coms.
That is not a comedy, though.
That is not a comedy.
Okay.
Well, if
say
I do
what it
Netflix,
is.
it's rom-coms.
Say what it is.
Titanic is my favorite movie.
Okay, I thought James Bond.
Does that? I guess that's true. That's like a series.
Yeah, I said movie or movies.
Okay.
All right. Well, Jackie
James Bond's a
doesn't
good one,
know.
too.
Yeah.
Bond.
Okay, Titanic. You said rom-coms. It's pretty similar.
Top
All right.
3.
Well then, Jackie, you are going to. Oh my gosh. Okay. There's so many good ones that I could pick on you for. What is something that Kelly cannot live without?
What can I not live without?
Yeah, I know. I was like, this might be. But this is good because this requires some being on the same page, some synergy between the two of you. Because I feel like there's a couple answers that could work for you. There's a lot of writing.
There's
going
a lot
on
of
over
writing.
here, yeah.
Ooh.
right.
I want to get it right.
3, and you read your answers out loud, then you say your answer. 3, 2, 1.
I said your dogs or coffee.
Coffee.
But then
Coffee.
I also put their names.
Okay, Elisa's
Coffee over
was
them?
also coffee.
It's my happy juice.
Okay.
Yeah. The dogs are a source of happiness
Yes.
and sometimes a source of stress. Yes. We love our dogs, but yes, they can be a little... Kelly's one of my fellow dog owners here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Well, why don't we, for the last part, Jackie, you kind of already touched on your answer, but why don't you share, for our last little portion as we wrap up here, your favorite cat, or top 2 if you have 2, and then your pets at home. Kelly, you start.
One of my favorite cats is Tigger, the little hybrid. He's perfect.
Yes.
And then I have 2 dogs named Astrid and Nova.
Yes. All right, Kaylin.
I'll say 2. Winona, number
Yes.
1, easy. Number 2, I'd probably say. It's a tie
Okay, say your tie.
between Blaze and Beauty.
Okay.
I love those kids. And at home, I have one cat named Harper.
Harper's so pretty, and Harper is also a cat that kind of came through the sanctuary too.
She did, yes. She was found by a coworker, and after a few months of her being here, I was like, I'll take her under my wing.
I know.
Have a
She's a
friend.
pretty girl.
She
All right,
is.
Jackie.
I have my 2 cats, which we already went over, and my rabbit, and then sea monkeys if you want to count them.
Yeah, we are counting them.
We are counting them. And then my favorite my favorite cat is Chili.
Yay!
Words are hard.
Chili. Well, this was so fun. I hope you all have fun too. Did you learn something new about each other?
I forgot about your archery.
I didn't know about Titanic. Apparently, I also didn't know about the she monkeys. So.
I didn't know about Titanic. I didn't know about boxing.
Yeah.
We knew everything to know about you. I'm just kidding. No, this was fun. Well, thank you everyone for joining for our second round today. It was super fun and good to get to know all of you a little bit more. But you have work to do. It's the last part of your day, so we'll get you back out there. I appreciate you stopping in. And for all of you, you can look forward to a couple more of these Falling in Love with Our Caretakers tomorrow and Friday. So until then, thank you, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye! Bye! You all can wave. I'll try to get over here quickly. Bye, everyone.